You see all the van life photos, you watch all the van tours, but do you wonder what this nomadic lifestyle is all about? Are you curious about life on the road? Social media calls it #vanlife. We call it home. I'll ask 10 questions to get you the stories that you want to hear from the people who live, work, and travel and adventure in this nomadic lifestyle. Welcome to Life on the Road. Okay, cool. Perfect. Let's go.
Let's rock and roll.
Exactly. Welcome to another episode of Life on the Road, where I ask 10 questions to get you the stories that you want to hear from their life on the road. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
For the fourth time. Yeah. We've done this a couple times now. Not only shooting their story as an individual or a couple, we also made some attempts at the group episode, which is now aired, and is amazing. So yes, I'm very excited that we are now getting to attempt our fourth time at this, and we will get this right this time.
Don't jinx it.
No,
Let's not get cocky this early, because if it does record the whole episode, that will be a miracle.
It will be a miracle, yes, to be honest. Yeah. You guys have been my problem children in this show.
This is how our life's going at this point.
Exactly. This is kind of par for the course. Yeah, it is actually very fitting. Yeah, and we'll get into the reasons why. But yes, no, that makes perfect sense. We're in Bend, Oregon, at beautiful Phil's Trailhead. You guys are parked up here and going to be working on the bus for a while, which is amazing. So, so happy that I got a chance to come through here and hang out for a few days. The last few days have been amazing, as usual.
Well, we always stretch the interview day. You say, I'm going to leave Thursday, and we say, but I think we have time Saturday.
One
and then
more
we
day.
Time.
Exactly. And then you get me to stay here a little bit longer. And
otherwise, this dude's just on tour with the dead.
I'm gone. Exactly. I'm gone.
We'd never see him. Cut a break between shows.
That's right. Exactly. Exactly. As we always start the show, please tell us who you are, where you're from, and how long you guys have been on the road.
Cool.
You start.
Me start?
Yeah.
Cool. I will. I'm John, and I am originally from New England. Grew up in Rhode Island, spent about a decade in Boston before traveling, and coming up on 3 years on the road.
Sweet.
Cool. And I'm Carly, and I'm from Southern California. Went to college in the Ventura area, and I consider that to be home.
Okay.
And I've been on the road for 2 years.
Nice.
This guy found me at a hot spring.
Yes.
And I hopped right
I
up.
think you found him at a hot spring.
Technically, Harry found her.
Harry found her.
Yeah.
I actually love that. I love that.
Harry is a dog, if you don't know.
Yeah, we'll have photos of all the puppy dogs, the two terrorists and Harry.
Terrorists?
Wait, I love that.
Yeah, exactly. Fox and Wolf, they're
fear-mongers.
Fear-mongers.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we'll post some photos of the three puppy dogs. Question 1: what was the beginning moment, cause, or inspiration to live your life on the road?
Yeah, I can definitely get started. I was outdoorsy my whole life. I grew up and was a Boy Scout and all that. I was like trying to remember the hand sign, and I don't remember. It's been a while. But yeah, I went all the way through that, camping like every single weekend, and between twice a month or so with my Boy Scout group, and then other weekends I'd go with my parents who were also on those trips. So we just camped nonstop when I was growing up, and I'd come home from summer camps and stuff and pitch a tent in our backyard and just like live in the backyard. And never really wanted to be inside. And then get to about 21, 22 years old, hard shift into bartending for almost a decade. Waking up at 4 p.m., going to sleep at 6 a.m.
Yep, I know that life.
In total darkness, always inside. And it was when the pandemic rolled around that I kind of like had a moment to literally just look up out of the trenches, and I was like, is this what I want my life to be? And it was a pretty firm no. So started building our van, our previous rig before the bus. And hit the road and the rest is history.
What year was that?
That was 2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
So kind of tail end of the pandemic, or like middle of the pandemic, and then just getting out.
We were about 5 months in, and at that point, I had been away from restaurant jobs. Most places were like kind of still opening, but I opened places with friends and all this. Like I was very invested, And then after about 3 months or so of like hard stop, no places operating.
Everything shut down.
Yeah. At that point, I bought the van, and then I did a solid like 1 month rough-in conversion that I was actually really proud of, pre-roof raise and all that. But yeah, a month after that, I got on the road, so definitely the summer.
Nice. And you, Carly?
Yeah, so I consider my catalyst kind of 2020 as well. But I was also an outdoorsy kid, always outside, looking forward to the family camping trips. Always in a kayak somehow.
Always.
Always in a kayak. And I started seasonal work during COVID as a way to get free housing while also traveling at the same time, because I couldn't afford rent and needed a job. So seasonal work was a great outlet for me.
Fuck rent.
So I lived in Tennessee for about 6 months, and then I moved to Utah for about 4 months.
Good spot.
And I worked at Zion National Park.
Good spot.
And then I ran into John, and I got to camp with him and a bunch of his friends for about a week, and it turned into a month-long caravan.
Nice.
And I found myself living out of my car in a cot, and caught in a sleeping bag with a little cooler. And for a month, I just didn't go home. I was like, okay, I quit, and I'm following you to Oregon. And also, I'm in love with you. But
wasn't really a curveball. Kind of saw it coming.
But it was a very easy transition into getting on the road. But even in high school, I was trying to convince my friends to like buy a bus with me and travel up the California coast. I was like, let's go in. It's only $1,000. Let's do it. And no one wanted to. So this was eventually always going to happen.
Yeah. She kind of got the cheat codes though, because
I did.
I had been in the community a bit already. And
of course.
I'm at this hot spring with like, I don't know, 8 to 10 of like pretty much the coolest people on the road.
Like, some OGs.
We were a vibe, the
like
OGs.
Matt, Mark and Marina, like the party crew that knows everybody. I was just
that
like,
was OG crew.
Yeah, rolled up and you're like,
what's up?
I'm Carly, I think I want to be a nomad.
I kind of wanted to join this thing you got going on here.
There was no like, oh, maybe I'll meet my first friend in a Planet Fitness parking lot. It's like,
John and Carly, we are editing your Life on the Road episode right now, and I'm with these two beautiful people. And I have a little bit of extra footage that you may or may not remember, but enjoy. Bye.
It'll be 1 year full-time in the van for me, which is exciting, and I'm excited for the van-iversary. But we met kind of recently, actually.
I was working in Zion National Park. I stop at Meadow Hot Springs, and I meet
which is beautiful.
This guy. And a bunch of other van lifers who are all just hanging out in the hot spring. And I just like sat on this rock and I just looked around and I was like, yeah, this is the life. This is it. This is the next move.
The whole thing is kind of new, right? And you posed the question to us last night and you're like, oh, you guys are like together? And I was like, yeah.
Straight to the top, and then she hops right into a converted rig too.
With the man and the dog. I got the house, I got the van. I didn't have to go through a build journey, but I did outrig my RAV4. So I did it for myself for like a week.
Nice. I love
did my own like solo trip, but I had a bed in there. And a whole built pull-out kitchen that I was really proud of.
I love it.
Yeah, you're building it out and proving that you could.
Yeah.
At that point, I was like,
speaking of the crew that you rolled with that week or that month, question 2 is, what has been your experience with other nomadic travelers while living your life on the road?
They're the best fucking people on the planet.
They are the best.
Yeah.
Initially, when I first thought of nomadic life, I thought it would be super lonely. And I thought I would be totally out there on my own. And that was why I never took the leap, because I thought I would be just by myself. With no help around or no friends around. And sitting in this hot spring surrounded by nomads, I was like, wait, this is like this all the time?
Yeah.
And they were like, well, not like all the time, but
it was
most
like
of the time.
It was like a Wednesday or something. And we were in the hot spring for like 8 hours.
You guys just do this all day?
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Barring disaster.
What's truly amazing, I think, about you guys and, Woodstock on Wheels, and we'll reference this in the bus here in a bit, but like you guys, are kind of a little mini heart and soul in the community. like at the end of the day.
You can say bigger than Little Mini.
Whoa! I mean, the bus is like, no, you guys are like. I mean, obviously the community is massive,
right?
You know, but at the same time, like you guys have carved out a little place that and we reference it in some. I think the group show where you guys have, rarely ever alone.
Yeah. Like literally
there's always people here.
Yeah, if you did a 360 right now, there's like 25 rigs again.
The sack was empty before we got here. And 3 days later, it was packed.
Yeah, and then again, like what you guys have built and what you guys do, just brings people. Like, and it creates mini communities. It creates a mini vibe here at Phil's. Like it's, we'll post pictures and things that I shot the last 2 nights, and it's been, truly a vibe, and it's always a vibe. Like we created one in California, like,
it's just spur of the moment. Like, hey, should we just throw a concert on this bus stage that we built?
But I mean, that was kind of the point of the bus at the end of the day. Like this was the point of, bringing people together to hear great music. That's why the bus was created at the end of the day.
Yeah, we've always been really tight with the community. It feels like pretty early on I kind of got I don't know, initiated or sucked into just like some really, really good groups of people, right away. And this community completely stole my heart. And this bus is kind of our little way of giving back.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's definitely like my musical passion and creates the greatest photography moments ever for you.
Forever.
It's like the hippiest shit ever.
It is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, we gave people an hour notice last night or something, and it was like 5 minutes into the set or something, we had
30 people.
Yeah, 30 people. I did a quick head count after some people had left, and it was like 26 people were still here. And it's like, and we're in just a little small chunk of the woods,
Yeah, and even the night before, no planning.
Yep.
We didn't say anything. We didn't announce anything.
It's just
Everyone
as many people
started pulling up their chairs, and we had a huge campfire.
Up
we were like working, and all of a sudden the campfire was lit.
And there's
chairs
like
all
20
the way
people,
around
15 people just chilling, hanging out, talking.
And I mean, we welcome it every single night.
I have to go to work, but this is fucking cool.
Exactly.
I keep ending these sets, like these shows where we're playing music out here, just being like, all right, same time tomorrow. And everyone's like, wait, really? And I'm like, well, I guess
maybe.
so. Yeah, if you're that excited about it, sure.
If you want to hear it again, like, more than happy to keep playing.
We got more songs. We only played an hour last night.
It is wonderful, though, because our old rig, Woody, was so magnetic. Like, we would have a huge circle of people, and we have the smallest rig, and everyone is
by
like
a long shot,
at our rig. And I always thought that was amazing. And I was so grateful for that, and I was hoping with the new rig that it would have the same.
I mean, I think it's that times 10. To be honest, like it is. It's truly a special thing. I know. I mean, it's truly an icon, I think, in our community, in a sense that it's it is this one-of-a-kind thing that, not only, you guys as photographer, musician, but, like, just in general, like, what you guys are building is just really, really dope.
We're definitely doing it for our people.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, and again, too, like, you mentioned it earlier, like, kind of, feeling like you wanted to give back to this community, and it's kind of why I've created this show as well. Like, I fell in love with this community this last year of travel for me, and it's been like, what can I do to create something or some things, which I'm working on some more stuff, to give back and create something for this community, because it is so wonderful, and I feel so fortunate to be a part of it, and you want to, show others like how great it is and like what we enjoy and love and why we do what we do.
Puts in their magic little sprinkle.
Exactly.
It just creates this magic little potion.
It's true. It's so true.
And you gotta push that narrative onto the people who are out there thinking, you know, it's gonna be lonely when you get out there. And it's not. And you can have no fucking clue what you're doing or like what you're leaving behind, how you're gonna make ends meet, whatever. You find one of us, you know, like really,
you'll figure it out.
Us as like the whole community,
the
whole holistic thing.
They'll help you. They'll help you.
You're gonna find help.
Well, and again, too,
the
like
support is here.
You know, and then you will go through bouts of loneliness, no matter what. But you can always. Well, you guys don't.
Maybe you.
Still have some kind of longing for that.
Every now and then we're like, just one day off.
One day. Can everybody just go away for one day?
What a hard life we have, being so well loved.
We could just drive away, but we choose not to.
Well, we kind of can't.
We can't.
We're trying to rebuild the engine.
Mechanical issues. We'll get to that.
We'd also just start a huge caravan.
People would just follow. Exactly. Question 3 is, what has been your biggest failure? What has been your biggest triumph while living your life on the road?
Oh man, I wonder if our answers are different.
I always forget how I answer this question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious if you answer them separately. And
sure.
just,
So previously, when we were chatting, I definitely talked about the biggest failure synonymously being the biggest triumph, just in that the biggest failure we had was we started dating or early on. We're both like trying to figure out how this whole thing works. Not the relationship, but like this, you know, the lifestyle and working and balancing all the fun and balancing all the outdoorsiness and like trying to actually have that sense of freedom or just genuinely that freedom that is so pitched by everybody. All of us, you know?
Yeah.
Not working for the man.
Yeah, right. And we had a moment where we were like going into the grocery store and buying groceries and you looked at me and you were like, I have $50. And I was like, me too. You know? And we like proceeded to overdraft our bank accounts so we could eat and shit. And yeah, we were just in this broke spiral for a long time. And it turned into a moment where we planted our heels and we definitively said we were not going to like go to work.
Yeah.
You know, we were not going to give up on what we were doing. Yeah. We like wrote cute little notes in the van at the time and it was something like no jobs, just like dreams and
pure
passions.
Love
love, support and talent or something. Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah. And that was really the main thing that pushed me to get out and play music as a monetary thing instead of just playing music, you know, for quietly tucked into the bedroom or whatever, you know. And same thing with photography, you know. Yeah.
Pushed out shoots, pushed out everything. We actually bought tickets to Descend with like the last amount of money that we had. Descend is like a nomad gathering, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Yeah, we've referenced it a lot on the show.
But, and buying those tickets, that was everything we had. Like that was what we had. I think we got money from him busking. Yeah. And it was like, do we go? Do we not go? And that changed our whole life. It changed the community that we had. It got me a ton of clients. Yeah. I was selling prints, and then we figured out this magic potion where like I would have free prints on display. Yeah. And he when would I was be busking, playing music. And then they would take a print and donate money. Yeah. Yeah. So it was working out to our benefit. Yeah.
That made downtown busking tips pretty nice for a while, you know, because then people are effectively buying the photograph, which is already beautiful.
But, and again,
like my information was on the back, so I got clients from that.
It's awesome.
But it was that community. It was like that was the next level of community. Like getting to that first Descend that we went to 2021 or whatever it was.
That was the smoky year, right?
Yeah.
The smoky year.
Dogs are straight up rolling around.
They're amazing.
But that was the big. That was the big moment where we made a bunch of friends. You started meeting people who have gone on to be some of your best clients and stuff like that, you know. And it's just the community is here, the community gives back, and the community supports creatives.
Yeah, 100%. Well, and again, I wrote the question basically exactly the way you answered it, in a sense that like you have you have a failure, quote unquote. I don't necessarily always look at them as failures, but they're ways of struggling that then you work through and ultimately become your triumphs, you know, that really become your proudest moments, you know, to where you're like, fuck, that was a really hard thing. And I persevered and now look where I am and got to, you know, here. And it's because of that is why I'm here, you know, those types of things.
Yeah. My lead into my answer, I was like, but I might have a different answer. I don't think I do. I think that's still like kind of the biggest one because it really set us on the path here. Yeah. But even since the last time we talked about all of this, like we have blown up the van transmission. Yeah. The bus engine needs to be rebuilt. Yeah. Like we've had all of these massive, like they're not failures. Well, they're mechanical failures. Yeah, I was gonna say, right? Like, but we've had stuff that has set us back so hard and so far. And it's just like, now I pretty much know how to rebuild a 5.9 Cummins, you know, like
the last like 6 months or let's call it 4 months for you guys. It's just been kind of like nonstop, one after another, one after another.
I mean, I see friends after a couple months and they're like, are you okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's been pretty brutal.
Yeah.
And we're kind of in a similar wavelength where like we are collectively making the most money we've ever had. Yeah. But we have so much going on that we are also as broke as we have ever been.
Yeah.
Just maybe not ever because we spent a lot of time in the negative, but
but just having to focus on certain things now, like that are, you know, truly the engine, transmission, like, you know,
stuff
like
that literally moves you.
Yeah, exactly.
And it feels like our build has really slowed down. Like originally we were like, we're definitely doing this in less than a year. And now we're like,
when I saw you guys this past winter, like you were, you know, when we talked about the layout, you guys were like full bore, let's go. Like you were charging.
We've hit a couple.
And then everything since then has been kind of like slowed down.
Yeah, it's just like month after month, you know, money's coming in, and then all of a sudden it's like 2,000 mechanical bill, 1,200 mechanical bill, 2,000, like whatever it is.
Tire's gonna blow up.
Yeah, just
well,
like
and again, I want to revisit this exact thing when we talk about the rig specifically, because it's something that we talk about all the time on the show with like buying an older rig and dumping a bunch of money into it. You know, it's like, you know, if somebody's thinking about van life, you know, what is that process? And we'll get into it in question 7. Question 4 is, did you guys start as a couple on the road? And what is it like living as a couple on the road? I know you didn't, but I'm going to preface the question that way.
Right, yeah. We did not start as a couple on the road. We met about a year into my travel, maybe a little less than a year into my travel. But I think it's fantastic being a couple on the road. I think, you know, it really depends on what you're looking for, like what you're trying to get out of your time on the road. Like some people do this to seek solitude, you know, and then some people do it to just meet people and have fun and whatever. But going through and
sometimes it's a short-term thing for people. They're only looking to do it for maybe a year, maybe 2 tops, right? You know?
I was thinking you meant relationships, but you meant like van life as a whole.
Well, both,
Yeah, but even relationships out here too, it feels a little less conventional. Like okay, you meet, you date for X amount of time, you move in together, you like whatever, you 100%. Whatever. It's a little looser than that.
And it's usually faster.
Yeah,
on the road.
Yeah, we knew each other for like a month, and we were like, "This is it."
I was
this is it.
I'm moving in.
And there was one day I came back to camp after work, and he just like ran and hugged me and spun me around and was like, "I want you to meet my mom." And like that is burned into my memory. But that was like 3 weeks into knowing. Hi, Fox.
Oh, hi, Fox.
Okay.
Hi.
Here's
grab
the
mugs.
Grab the mugs.
Okay, have fun.
Okay, just
watch the camera. Go play. Okay.
Hi, puppy dogs.
But yeah, living in a small space definitely like catapults the relationship.
Yeah, for
we were together at like 4 months at one point, and someone else was like, "Oh, so that's like 2 years in real life."
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah, but being like with your person, like your partner, and someone who inspires you, like through thick and thin, through all the stuff that we've gone through, and like. We've grown so much as people. We've grown so much as a couple, and I don't think I would trade any of that. You know, because some of this stuff, like the hard stuff, when you're doing that alone, like
it's hard.
Man, fuck, I can't even really imagine that. You know.
Well, and I think, and again, I'll use you guys as like the ultimate like. You guys are the baseline level of where you want to get to as a relationship on the road. For real. Like, honestly, and it gets talked about all the time on the show of, like, what's the ideal situation with a relationship on the road? Is it, you know, 2 rigs coming together? Is it somebody moving into somebody else's rig? Or is it buying a rig together and building it out together, which I think ultimately is maybe the best way to do it. Like, you guys are constantly thinking about what each other needs in this space, and like we've talked about the layout and like how you guys are laying it out, and I think it's so thoughtful and it's so great. I'm gonna actually take a video so everybody gets to see what we get to see.
What we're watching.
Right now. These crazy,
just going nuts,
just going crazy.
The terrorists and
Harry.
They are losing it.
Oh, they're the best.
They're funny.
We'll drop this
at the time
little
too. I didn't realize like how lucky. I knew I was really lucky to find you and to have this all work out. But then meeting more people on the road, like it seems like dating on the road is actually terrifying and hard.
It's not terrifying. It's just hard and sometimes difficult and fun. It can also be a lot of fun, but at the same time,
there's a lot of parts and pieces to that, and a lot of communication that would have to happen. And I was just like, "Hi, I like you. I'm moving in. What's up?" And it worked out. And it was fine.
Yeah,
definitely worked out.
It definitely worked out. Yeah.
This guy wanted like. Initially, like solo,
bachelorhood,
that was the dream originally.
A lot of solace and
you spoiled that
growth, you know. And then I was like, "Oh, hi, I'm Carly."
You're like, "No, I'm gonna just come. Does this fit here in the van? Can I just move this in here in the van?"
Yeah.
Oh, the terror.
I try to put them away. They're going nuts.
That's okay.
I just don't want to knock
question 5, and you guys gave the greatest answer ever in the group discussion. What was the best place, craziest place you've had sex during life on the road?
Oh my God, that was a good one.
That was such a good one.
Yeah, you have to watch that video for that answer. I'm not giving that same one.
No, watch the group episode for that answer. Yeah. It's a good one.
We have like funny ones. We have really cool ones. Like,
wait, the Americana bullshit?
Yeah.
Poor Hunter was like, my answer is Americana bullshit. I'm sorry.
Would you like to take it away?
Grand Canyon was great.
Yeah.
On the north rim of the Grand Canyon. Literally parked on the rim.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the most iconic places, I think, in America.
We've got that one. We have front row of a Walmart parking lot in Utah. Front row.
Yep, that's always a good one as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're always in the woods. We're always somewhere beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely been riverside, lakeside.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best answer is really, truly the outdoors because of how and why we live.
Yeah.
But yeah, then you get to the true specific locations and you're like, North Rim seems to be maybe in top 3 of almost everybody's.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, that's a pretty good one.
It's a pretty good one.
Well,
Monument Valley and like things like that. But
handful of mountaintops, national parks, of course.
Of course.
What else are they there for,
Yeah.
Recreating.
Exactly. I love that.
Yeah.
Question 6 is, how do you guys make money living your life on the road?
Yeah. So outside of music, my primary source of income is graphic design, marketing, branding, web development. I went to school to be a developer, write code, all that stuff, and just fell in love with the art side of kind of the tech space.
The creative side.
Yeah, right. And now for years, I'm really fortunate to just have worked with really good people when I was in Boston, opening restaurants and whatnot, and ended up turning some of my friends / coworkers / business owners into some of my best clients.
It's awesome.
Just year after year, people who are just so excited to support the life that we have and love the work that I give them and whatnot. So predominantly, mostly aesthetic marketing.
Yeah.
But then music brings a little bit into, and I'll go busk or play a gig or whatever. But it's nice to not to now at this point not be leaning all the way on something that I kind of do for fun.
Yeah.
At some point I would love it if it became my primary source of income. Like that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
But for the moment I absolutely love what I'm doing in the marketing world and absolutely love being able to just have fun and goof around with music.
And I love that is what like you're working towards, and I try and express that on the show with lots of people in different careers, which is amazing. But I love the fact that and this is something that I really focus on as well, is I had a main start quote unquote career when I got on the road, but now I've turned photography, and Carly, you and I can relate to this, our hobby quote unquote passion into work and a profession. And into making money. And so, and it's, I think when people get on the road and they can find the things that they love to do and then somehow create little revenue streams for each one of those things, I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
So,
I could not agree more. Yeah, we definitely diversify where the money comes from. It's like all different
I have
stuff,
like 6 jobs.
Yeah, I know. I love that.
Now,
yeah. So I stole a little of your thunder.
No, not at all. No thunder was stolen, but I'm a photographer, and when I met John, he convinced me that I am a photographer, because I was just like taking photos for fun.
Yeah.
You're like, I like taking photos. And she like took a couple of us hippies out there at the hot spring, and I was like, holy shit,
I was working at my job being a photographer, and I was like, no, I'm not a photographer.
Yeah, paid photographer.
And then
it's a weird transition from obviously a photographer as well, like getting to the point where like you just enjoy taking photos to saying I'm a professional photographer is a weird transition. I can relate to that.
But it's been really
anything
fun.
Art, anything art is like that.
Yeah, and it's taken me to different countries. It's gotten me to meet so many wonderful, beautiful people. And I also do like social media management on the side. And I'm a virtual assistant for some friends of ours. And then I'm also taking on more social accounts as we speak. Those are like in the works right now. So my, I don't know what to say anymore. I lost my words. But,
your kind of skill level.
Building,
exactly. You keep building onto the things that you enjoy doing.
Multiple sources of income are really helpful, so you don't have to work as hard. If you can pull from a few different places, then your days are really
You're not
easy.
so dependent on one thing.
Yeah, exactly. And if that one thing were to go away, you still have other things coming in.
That's exactly the thing. I think between the two of us, we probably have near 10 revenue streams, you know.
Awesome.
None of them are like massive,
correct.
But at the same time,
all of them
if something fell off, you know,
yeah,
we wouldn't just be like dead in the water.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm like, it's interesting, and I think that is a great, you know, kind of piece of advice for somebody thinking about coming out on the road is like, if you can do that, if you can find multiple revenue streams or even turn passions into work, I think it's a great way to, you know, slowly support yourself and also, you know, be a bit more stable on the road, you know, so you're not relying on one thing. And then if it goes away, you're like, oh shit, what do I do now? And so, yeah, I've done something very similar and can relate and, you know, absolutely love that for sure. Maybe the biggest topic of the show, let's get to the rigs. Question 7.
Yeah.
What is your rig? Who built it? And why did you choose it to live a life on the road?
Right on. So current rig is a 2002.
Before we say this one, let's talk about the first one really quickly.
Okay, yeah. Because we do
like
still
this story.
have the
This story of this rig deserves its own show.
Yeah.
I'm realistically
a Netflix
like,
series.
I want to like sit down with you. Maybe we'll do this later, and we will literally just do an episode about that experience. About Woody.
Yeah.
And what you did in the desert.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is kind of the thing that I don't know, made me cool. Like, that's like how I like got friends. I don't know.
People were like, "What is this?
What is this fucking crazy guy doing in the desert, cutting this roof off?"
Like that,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So OG rig that we were in for a long time and still have is a '96 GMC Savannah, and it was like a late '90s, mid '90s, like. What do you call it? Yeah, like conversion with the little bubble top and all like suede plush seating and all that, and ripped all that out to do something else inside of it. But I got so sick of not being able to stand up inside of it. I'm 6 feet tall and like got so envious when I met a couple of people on the road and they're like 5'3", and they were like, "It's perfect." It like couldn't reach the ceiling, and I was like,
"You're like, this is not right."
In my own personal hell, you know. But got so sick of not being able to stand up in it. That without really any hesitation or experience
or thought,
hey, some thought. I was dreaming about it.
He did have all the materials that he needed.
Yeah, I went
to do it.
So
there was some planning there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was dreaming about it for months.
Okay.
But, yeah, I grabbed every material that I had decided I would need. Drove out to the dry lake bed north of Joshua Tree National Park, and cut the fiberglass bubble top off of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Right? Cut the roof off,
basically.
Yeah. Turns out that thing weighs 500 pounds. So kind of a little hiccup there, you know. But ultimately did a roof raise on it and built a 16-inch wooden frame between the body and that and got it back on. But I was like, it'll take me like 3 days is my loose estimate. It took me like 2+ weeks. And I had like 6 gallons of water starting or something in the desert, you know.
This story is truly, truly amazing. We'll show photos of Woody, obviously. But yes.
It could go way into depth. Like the spark notes are
insane.
Yeah, spark notes are I did sleep a couple nights in a convertible in the desert. That was pretty cool. Literally, it was freezing cold in January. And I almost died a couple times. And I lived off of a 90-degree coconut water for 3 days. And ultimately, like we were saying about the community, found one other dude out there who came up. Shout out Spencer.
Again.
Came up and helped me get it back on because I was dead in the water.
Finding one other dude to help you put this 500-pound roof back up.
Can you imagine?
In the middle of nowhere, like in the middle of the desert.
I parked like this. I would never do it exactly like this again by any means, but I parked like well over a mile from where most people camp because I wanted to be out of the way if I was making noise and shit. And so I'm going on 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Of like
if you did die, it would take a while to find you.
Yeah.
This is like a Jason McCandless, like, you know, Into the Wild like situation, you know?
That's what people think van life is, Into the Wild. And it only is if you have a fucking death wish.
If you do this.
You know? Yeah, but been there.
Yeah. You can relate now.
Yeah, but you just have to imagine me at that point. I had like a haircut and pretty much like shaved face, and I'm walking down with like a 2-week patchy beard, like his hair kind of popping out around my ears, and it's me and Harry, and we're just walking like a mile and a half, holding that coconut water with a few drops in it, and I'm walking up to every rig on the dry lake bed out there, and I'm like, hey, this is gonna fucking sound insane. They're like, already does.
Yeah.
I'm like covered in like insulation and spray foam. My clothes are ripped to shit. Like it was not the scene you want rolling up on your rig. And I walked up to this like basically influencer couple at the time. Like everything's just pristine, immaculate. And I was like, this is gonna sound really fucking crazy, but I cut the roof off of my van way over there in the hills. You can't see it. You gotta trust that it's there. I just need some help getting it back on. And they like look at their phones and they're like, well, the dispensary closes in like half an hour, so we gotta go by. I don't know if we can help you. And I'm like, no problem. You know, I'm like, I have nothing. You know,
like I said, this story is fucking epic.
I could go for hours.
I know you could go for hours on this story, and I'm gonna cut you off because I know you could go for hours.
Yeah. Check it out.
I honestly want to do a full episode about this story because it's worthy of a full episode.
Yeah, you should do like one shot, like mini.
Mini series about like certain events.
A
spin-off of life on the road.
Van life catalyst moment.
Yeah, so and this one is definitely a catalyst because people know the lore of Woody. You know, they've heard bits and pieces of the story.
This ballad has been sung through the community.
Exactly. But let's talk about Woodstock on Wheels.
Right. So we were in the van for a while when we first started dating, and then we went down to Baja and found the terrorists, I guess. Found the puppies, found the girls. And we had just Harry at the time, and then brought 2 puppies in. And we'd been talking about a bus for a little while at that point. And as the puppies slowly started getting larger, we were like, this is getting really hard. Yeah, we had a vet tell us they were going to be like 85 pounds. They're like 50. Yeah. But a vet was like, they're going to be 85 pounds. And I was like, we're fucked. Yeah. You know, like we're sunk here, you know? Yeah. And finally found the bus that we wanted with the engine transmission combo we wanted.
We were looking for a while too. And the day that we were like, okay, we cannot do this anymore, our dream bus popped up. And we were like, woohoo!
That's the best.
Yeah. So it's a 28 foot, which is pretty rare. A full size bus for reference is 40 feet, bumper to bumper. And the 28 is kind of a mid-size bus.
Yeah.
And the smaller schoolies would have been fine and would have been large, but too small for what we wanted. We needed room for hobbies and for passions and music and stuff, and we weren't going to get that with a smaller bus.
Yeah, that's the main thing. I really didn't have much space to just like create my own space to play or practice music, and then we kind of work at different hours of the day too, and it's just like having some space where we're not kind of like quite in the lane of the other person
of course
is really important, and I think it's something that's really making our relationship work too. So people are like 1 rig, 2 rigs, rig size, like all of that does matter.
Well, absolutely. And we had earlier conversations this winter about the interior layout, like how you guys were being very thoughtful with each other.
And it took us like a year to figure out the layout.
But ultimately I think, you know, again, the conversation and the thought process that you guys went through together was very like well thought out. Like, you know, you really played into what each other needed and wanted, and then created a space that really truly is for both of you. And then
what does Carly need? What do I need?
Correct.
How do we not get in the way of each other? How do we support each other best?
Correct.
How do we allocate space?
Together.
Well, and then obviously the obvious is what we're sitting on right now. You know,
that was always part of the vision. I think the day we were like, buses are cool. What if it had a stage?
Exactly. Like that was just the instant thought.
That was like
Mark
6
and
months
Marina,
before.
like, we're gonna buy a bus and we're gonna get married on it and it's gonna have a stage on it. And we were together for like a month.
It's awesome.
Maybe starting that week.
Well, and what are we sitting on right now? Like maybe the coolest stage ever fucking built.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, we need the Dead to come play it. But,
that would be amazing.
If anyone out there watching this has
has ties to
to any big musicians that might think this thing is cool. And you got to check out the music stuff we're doing too.
We're gonna flash Woodstock on Wheels and the whole thing. It'll be right here.
I want to just blast this thing to the moon. It would be so funny to have like we were talking to one of our friends who's like cousins with the lead singer of this really big band too, and I was like, you think they'd do it?
Yeah.
You think they come play Woodstock?
Just like, you know, we'll park it out wherever they need to be. We'll get it to wherever it needs to go.
We'll tow it there.
We'll tow it there. Exactly. We'll get it to wherever it needs to be to like, get some fun musicians to come play on the stage.
Yeah. Really
which cool. I love it. I think it would be as well.
Yeah, but this is the dream. This is the dream rig for sure, and it has not been without massive growing pains, you know.
So let's going back to what we were referencing earlier, and I wanted to chat about it, is like buying an older rig, you know, not necessarily knowing. I mean, mechanically, it was the engine and transmission you wanted.
It's everybody we talked to about.
It's like the best one,
right?
Right.
Like get the 5.9 Cummins, the Allison transmission. You'll never have an issue.
Yeah.
And
4,000 miles in.
Yeah, we've literally put 4,000 miles on it, which is nothing.
Yeah.
You know, like pocket change miles.
Yeah.
And we've got a bad piston ring. We had a cracked exhaust manifold. We had just all of these issues.
Yeah.
Nothing that is outside of the realm of, you know, shit we're gonna figure out because we've been through worse at this point, you know. But right away got quoted like we bought the bus for $8,000 and the same guy we bought it from was like, oh well, for another $8,000 I'll put a new engine in it. And I'm like, dude, like you know, I don't know. I think he kind of knew about some of the issues is the thing. But yeah, you got to be careful. You got to know what you're looking at. And I don't know if it was a mistake to not bring like friends that knew a lot more about this kind of stuff. I don't know if we really had friends before having engine issues that knew all about this stuff.
What was going on.
You know, you don't always
really
know.
Most of the bus community.
Yeah, we didn't really know bus people. We didn't know anyone that worked on diesel rigs, you know, for sure.
Yeah.
But it all looked good. We went like head to toe over it with the guy and still felt really good about it. But that's the thing. You can buy a newer rig and put just as much money into it and ideally have no problems or fucking get in a car accident the same day or like
100%.
You know, everything is a gamble.
Yeah.
So when it comes to buying an older rig, I think I'll stand by that forever because the miles you can put on an older rig, it's just like you're not bringing the value down for the most part. You know, you're not
100%.
bringing the value down. It's been well loved. You generally can look up what you're supposed to service when, you know, and you just stay on top of it. And these things that you put so much time, effort, love, and money into, like in the conversion itself, when something mechanically goes wrong, like
it's just another thing that you want to get involved in.
You know, it's like a pipe 100%. Would burst in a house. You know, like you're gonna have issues and things you want to upgrade and whatever. You know,
I just want like, and again, I think the way you're referencing it or speaking about it is important in a sense that like, you know, just expect these things. Like, you know, it's gonna come. Like it's gonna come. Like it's gonna happen. You know, and again, like I love old rigs. I love Woody. I love this thing. But again, like know what you're getting into is really like the baseline of what I want somebody to understand that is thinking about van life is like, you know, if you're going to buy an old rig, like just know that some of these issues are going to pop up.
Hey, even if you buy a new rig, that's the thing. You can
Althea broke down in the first month.
Right.
Like, I get it.
You can like optimistically depend on it longer, you know, but at the same time, it's just like, it's going to happen no matter what your rig is. And do not be cavalier. Do not think like, oh, it won't happen to me. I was there for a long time. I was like, wow, like when the van was running perfect for like the first year or whatever, I was like, man, like I'm flying on cloud nine up here. Like this
no
is
issues.
I'm
zero
good.
issues,
zero problems. Everything's just perfect. And it's not going to be like that.
For sure.
It's something you have to anticipate.
Yeah, absolutely. Question number 8. What is your best bathroom? Number 1 or number 2 story from Life on the Road?
Oh my god!
Do we have a toilet in the rig?
Yeah, we're ashamed. We still
still have a cassette toilet.
We still have the cassette for right now.
Gonna
get the composting toilet.
Yeah. We're talking about building one or buying one.
Yeah.
But yeah, we still have the cassette, and we were hanging out with my parents. It's the worst way to start this story, but we were camped out. Planning to meet up with them the next morning, and our cassette's full, and we're parked at this like trailhead, and
there's a bathroom.
And so there's a bathroom.
There's a bathroom at the trailhead. Pit toilet.
Yeah.
So we were like, you know, I don't know, maybe it's a gray area, like even dumping there or whatever, but like that's where we were. You know, that's what we had.
Yeah.
And the thing is like absolutely full to the fucking brim. And
this is also a brand new toilet. Like it's like our first time dumping it.
Yeah. Oh god.
First time dumping it full.
It's the worst.
Absolutely brand new. And we're like, we're just gonna. Oh, hi,
Harry. I've never done that.
Good job, buddy.
But we're like, we're gonna dump this thing, and I am dead tired. I remember like usually I'm the one to dump the toilet because I feel like it's the gentlemanly thing to do.
Yes.
And that night Carly was like, oh, I got it, and she like takes it apart. She picks up the like cassette part, the bottom part, and it's a big one. It's like a 5 gallon.
Yeah, it's not the small one.
Yeah,
it's the
you know, we're
full-size
2 people, and we're like we park up for a long time and stuff. So.
It was heavier than I expected.
She picks it up and holding it by like the handle is also the slide out thing.
Yeah, and like, it is like it's very loose and it's not like solid.
That's how you have to hold it.
I know.
She picks it up and she just goes down, right? And the thing like it like slides open, it hits the ground, it splashes all over the whole bedroom. We're also
our water tank is broken.
Right.
We have no water.
Yeah, right. And so we had blown a tire on the way out to where we were in Arizona, and it kicked up and broke our water tank. Right, so we're out of water, completely out of water, and now our rig is literally covered in liquid shit. Yeah, and that's the worst. That's the worst thing I've ever experienced.
Honestly,
in my life.
it might be the worst answer to this story or to this question.
Dude,
on
it was
the show.
like imagine
That's pretty
5
bad.
gallons of shit.
Shit, just like being splashed around your room, your bedroom.
Yeah, it's bad.
It didn't all come out, but it was enough, that it was like, because it like hit the ground, splashes.
Yeah,
it was so fucking disgusting. And I was so tired. Like, I barely drove us there because I was like,
it happened, and I looked at him, and he just went,
oh, fuck.
And I was like, don't get up. Do not get up. I got this.
That's so funny.
But he got up and helped me clean it. And luckily we had enough like gallons of water on hand and bleach to
and drinking water.
Luckily we had paper towels because we don't always have paper towels.
Holy cow.
But that was probably the worst.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
I'm reliving it right now. We have to move on.
All the more reason to get a composting toilet.
Luckily, we didn't have any clothes on the ground, and like
God, yes.
Everything was clean, so like it didn't like ruin anything.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's not ideal.
Yeah, well, I mean, question number 9, what is the happiest and hardest moments? Maybe that was one of your hardest moments.
Yeah, man. I mean, going back to when we were so broke and then started busking, started chasing photography, made it to that first descent, like started meeting people, you got paid work, all sorts of stuff. Like, happiest and hardest was like still kind of synonymous.
Kind of the same
thing. Like hardest was when we straight up bottomed out and it was like, I don't think that we can eat today.
Wow.
You know, like, and that is a place that, like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of millennials, like, are hovering often. It's just, it's the state of the world we're in. People are, like, getting by. But at that point, it was like, I've been hovering for a long time, been paycheck to paycheck for, like, all the way through my 20s. And then we get to that point, and I was like, fuck, man. Like, the ship has sunk.
Yeah.
How do you dig out?
This is deep.
Yeah. But that sparked the greatest shit we've ever done. Like such a comeback.
Yeah.
And granted, shit has just gotten really hard again.
Yeah.
Like it ebbs and flows.
I think my hardest time is what we're currently in
right now.
Yeah, we're just pushing through
mentally,
it. And
like, I don't know. I think living in a construction zone takes a little bit of a toll on you.
Yeah, and living in a construction zone that you have thrown all of your cash into mechanical issues, so now you can no longer afford to build it and get out of that state is like, I mean, it's hard out here. That's the thing that Instagram doesn't quite show you.
Correct.
It is fucking hard out here.
Yeah, and it's funny, like, and the insane thing is, like, not only like Hunter and Hannah's rig, Luna, but Woodstock on Wheels is one of my favorite subjects, right? Like to photograph, and we love creating beautiful, stunning images of you playing up here of this rig. But like, and again, that's what we throw out on Instagram. But what Instagram doesn't see is the challenges that are going on with this rig, and like
be real, and we try.
Of course, you guys are always, with telling people that, know, and I think it's important
too. Though, but like we for a long time, early mechanical stuff, whatever. Ultimately, want to sell the van and stuff. So little issues were like, I mean, it's cool that we're like trying to solve this problem ourselves, and I want to talk about it and get advice and whatever, and. We just kept like a lot of things really close to the chest for a long time. And then it was like the first time that I just full like minute and a half vented to the camera and tossed it in an Instagram story. Like
this is what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, I was like, this shit sucks. Like, this is where we're at. We're getting swindled by mechanics. We can't leave where we are. It's 103 degrees.
Our glass is 4 feet deep in the ground.
Yeah, just the shit that we've been through.
The van broke down. Like,
but it was the
week.
It was the being real and being honest and just putting that shit online that like the responses we got from people were reaching out to, like, people were finding local Facebook groups of off-road people, like when we got the bus stuck and like when you do have this community, once you've become a part of it or built it or whatever, like I feel like we kind of built our own corner into it, like you need to
lean into them.
You need to use those people. You need to trust those people. And you need to know that, you have put in time, you've built relationships and these people care for you more than 100%. Your hometown friends and shit. Like, you have so much in common out here. It's not you don't have to be afraid of like, well, I don't want my friends and family to think whatever. It's like we all go through the same shit, and we're all coming to help, and we all need to talk about it. Yeah, everybody's here.
Well, and it's crazy. Like, it's funny. I've referenced this a few times. Whereas, like, my Vaniversary has become almost more important than my birthday. Like, it's like a more important day. Yeah. Like, I'm more proud of that day than like my birthday. I'm just like, well,
yeah. I mean, that's like your second birthday. Yeah. You know, it's like
it's almost you're
like reborn.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. You don't get to choose when you're born, but you do get to suffer for years and then decide. Like, I'm doing something different.
Yeah.
I'm going
to live the way I want to live.
And that's the cornerstone date, really. It's way more important than when you slid out of somebody.
Exactly.
You know, it's like, it's when you slid into who you wanted to be.
Yeah.
You know?
You created a life for yourself, and you're truly living the way you want to live. And I think it's incredible. Yeah. Last question, question 10. Define #van life in your own words.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then provide a piece of advice for somebody wanting to live a life on the road.
This one always gets me.
I know.
Because #van life, right, is the social media side of it.
Yeah.
And so #van life is bullshit.
It's bullshit.
Like, #van life is manicured fake marketing material, right? And like everybody,
the aesthetic video, that's beautiful and clean, but then there's a pile of shit behind it.
I'm editing, 120 of them I took last night, right? Whatever. Like, and those are the ones that I want to post of our events.
That's what you want to share because because those are the special moments.
Yeah.
Those are the clean, good feeling moments.
Yes.
And it's just like, it's not real.
Yeah.
It's not
a real life.
It's not like you get out here and life is a straight up fairy tale.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that like young, excited people about this, like realize that it is still hard out here, that when people are getting those shots of their rig and it's like, but where do you keep your stuff? Like, it's so clean. You know where their shit is? It's in the front seat. Right?
Hidden behind the camera.
Or outside
in a pile.
Dude, we've seen like, and we've like done this shit too. Like, we did this in Mexico when we were filming a van tour.
Oh, yeah.
We just put a blanket down and we put like
everything
like
on the
200 pounds of personal belongings on the blanket on the beach.
To make the shot look cleaner.
Right. Yeah. Because
100%.
like, that's what you have to show on the internet, you know? And it's like, I don't know. I want people to be more raw and more real.
Yep.
If you're posting and you're using hashtags still like it's 2012 or whatever, like if it is #van life, like, I don't know, show your toilet. Like, don't wear makeup. Like, fucking whatever. You know, just like.
No, and I think it's slowly transitioning a little bit, to where people are becoming a bit more real on social media, especially in our community. And it's kind of why I created this show, is to show a more genuine version of how we live our lives on a daily basis, you know, and share the stories and the heartaches and share the ups and downs and the great moments and the sad moments and the hard moments and all the above. But what you see on Instagram is not our real lives.
Right. It's almost like early on when van life was getting cool, and so everyone who's in it has a YouTube channel and whatever, because there's like 8 people doing it, like effectively those people started marketing van life, right?
For sure.
And it's the same comparison culture kind of shit that you see on social media across the board, where it's like, this is my amazing life.
Yeah.
Right. And often those people turn the camera off, and like, A, they're no different than the rest of us, and B, like, some of them are a lot less happy.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, because
100%.
they are living in this way of
this
like
bubble.
It's like almost living a lie, right? Where you're constantly showing only the best parts of life.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing negative. And I love when people.
Highlight reel.
Yeah, I love when people kind of turn the page and start like just being honest about it, because otherwise you are just selling a product, and that product is kind of you know, and a lot of people are making money by being a product.
And I get that, and I'm okay with that. And again, like it's
if that's your business, fantastic. If you built that, that's great.
Instagram is real. Like, again, Carly and I can relate to this in a sense of those photos we take in these beautiful environments. They're real moments.
It all exists. You're just seeing the good,
the shiny object. You're seeing the pretty moments.
Of the pie,
which is fun, because if you're creating, you want to show the good.
Yeah,
and that's with anything.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But it's not necessarily
if you
how
we cookies and you fuck up, you're gonna make another one. And they're gonna be beautiful. And
and that's what the photograph you're gonna take is those beautiful ones.
Right.
Yeah. On the other side of the coin, though, too, like #van life is its own one. Yeah. It's its own little manicured thing. But van life across the board is just like, all hardships included. It is the greatest choice that I personally ever made.
I can completely agree with that.
Getting out here and doing it, and just getting through it. The stuff you learn, the people you meet, the experiences you have are just
life changing.
Yeah, they're unlike anything else, and they like. I don't know anyone from home anymore. You know, like
I'm the same way.
Like my life is here.
Is this community.
And I wouldn't trade it for a second. Like the people that we have are so supportive and uplifting and just like when you truly love your friends, like it's not like your drinking buddies that you hang out with. When you truly love your friends as human beings, it's like it's an experience unlike anything else.
100%. Yeah. I couldn't agree with you guys more. I mean, it's been like my experience this past year has been the best year of my life. Like, and the people like yourselves and, you know, I mean, I could list 100 people that I've met that are so close to me now that like I know will be friends for life, like truly. And that I truly, genuinely love you guys and care about you guys. Like if you guys needed anything, I'd be here in 10 minutes.
Yeah, maybe 10 grand if you got it.
Yeah, I hear you. Well,
no, I'm kidding.
We're gonna work on some things to help that down the road. Shout out, I live in a van coming soon. But
we love you too.
Yeah, no.
That's why we do 4 of these episodes before they
actually air. Provide a piece of advice for somebody wanting to live a life on the road.
Yeah, I think it's what I hope this is what you hear a lot, but just go. You know, just get out there, just do it. We know people who straight up have started with nothing. You don't need a Sprinter, you don't need a bus, you don't need a ProMaster, you don't even need a car. Like we know people who have just decided that their situation, their station in life is not what they want anymore and have just left with shoes and a backpack. You know? For sure. And like, and same thing, the community receives people. And I don't know this person personally, but I heard a story recently of someone going to one of these events, literally just walked to the event or like rode a bike or something. And by the end of the event, left with a van, which is crazy, you know.
And gave them a van.
Because it was like had an extra whatever, like needed work, like whatever it was. But like people are here. That's obviously like a Cinderella story, but like
last year at Descend, Elizabeth broke down in Medford.
Right. Yeah.
Hitchhiked basically another Descender, like picked her up, brought her to Descend. She had a backpack, a change of clothes, and that was it.
Right.
Like we took her into the Good Vibes Collective, like fed her, made sure she was good, like helped her get back to her rig, like all the 9. Like that's just what happens.
There was a guy that flew in from London with nothing but the shirt on his back.
Yeah. Like not even a backpack.
No jacket. No
for the last Descend on La Sierra. Yeah. This dude Tom.
And just showed up.
He was like, I just want to be here. And everyone was like I gave him a bunch of clothes, and he's like does well for himself in London and just sent it. Yeah. You know, and so he didn't like need, you know, but he was
he like ripped his pants while he was there, and we were like,
we like sewed him for him or something, and like
again, like
he was like crashing on somebody's floor.
But like just the boldness of coming out and seeing what we do and going to a van event to experience it. Actually, I think it's really good that I met a young woman at Pinnacles that was doing the same thing. She had an empty rig. She just wanted to go and talk to other, you know, van lifers and see and like hear their stories and see their rigs to kind of get experience. And I think that's wonderful. Like I think it's really a great way to do it.
Good advice too would be going to a van event if you manage to get on the road in any way, shape, or form. Go to a van event, make some friends. They happen monthly everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, look them up. People are talking about it. Everything Descend does, Descend on Bend, Descend on Pinnacles. Go to that stuff.
The Journal of Lost Time.
Yeah, right.
You know, Josiah's events. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty soon we're going to have one location where all of this information will be there.
Yeah.
Very
you'll
soon.
be able to look at the calendar.
Coming soon. Yeah. Very, very soon.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, make friends. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
And just, you used the word bold a minute ago, and I feel like that's even better than just go. Just be bold, right? Take the risk because the reward is so much more than you could ever imagine.
Yes. It's hard to, it's really interesting that you just said that. Like I have now we've done 30 some odd episodes here. It's so hard to describe how amazing this lifestyle is. Yeah. Like I have a hard time putting it in words. Like, you know,
that's for the season 2 question.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, maybe there's a way to
somehow put that into a question form.
Deeper,
we'll figure that out. But it is really difficult to express like how genuinely happy I am living on the road and like meeting folks like yourself and being friends with you guys and like sharing our lives and experiences together. Like it is truly life-changing is always something I just come back to because it's truly that.
It is.
So, that's your 10 questions. We fucking actually did it. If this camera is still rolling and still recording, it will be a fucking miracle.
Do we have audio?
Audio's still good. I can actually still see the levels.
Yeah.
But if we're recording still, this will be the greatest episode I've ever done. For sure.
Just based on the success to failure rate.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, if we have to do a fifth one,
we'll figure it out. Yeah. I can't thank you guys enough. Yeah. This was obviously amazing. I love hanging out with you guys. I just love you guys, period.
It's mutual.
Like full stop. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you on the next episode. So, bye.
It's a little cinnamon. I put a little chai in there.
Oh, that's great. You're the lucky one. Yes, you're the lucky one down there.
All right. You got a battery connected to that thing?
Yep. Battery's good. I charged her all night.
We got a free SD card.
Got a good SD card in there. Yep.
Clean.
2 terabyte. Clean. Reformatted this morning. All right. Grab that mic real quick. Okay. And let's just do a...
I was like, use my hair drip dries so fast, but I feel like I'm still
We're
wet.
good. Check.
I mean, you're going to be done drying by the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
A bite.
Are we recording?
We are recording. We have been recording for quite a while.
Hello? Testing?
This was good.
It's so good.
Taste, right?
It's Amy's honey.
The Amy's honey is...
It wasn't good until I put Amy's honey in. We'll sit at dinner and, like, his family will be... Or, like, anyone we're with will just be asking questions about something. And he's always storytelling and talking.
And then you'll look down and you'll be like, haven't eaten a bite yet.
Their meal and he hasn't started yet.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Life on the Road.
You could pretty much
This is Chad, our host.
You could pretty much do my intro at this point.
Yeah.
All right, you guys.
Where we take you behind the scenes and show you
exactly what it's like to live life on the road.
That's what it is.
Oh, it's so funny. All right, you ready?
To episode 4.
To episode 4. To the 4th one. Cheers to that. I love that for sure. Yes, I think we actually did it. We're going to find out.
Let's find out.
I
have to go get ready for work.
Yeah, I know. You got to go.
Yeah. Chad and Rio left.
And we are still recording. Oh, yeah. Do you guys need a ride into town?
I mean, I guess.
Thank you, brother.
So, yeah, man.
That was amazing.
I can't believe we got it.
I know, right? We can't believe we got it.